What's going on, everyone? This is Cobbsy with True Nerds, and I got myself and Droly. We are both frustrated with technology today, so welcome back to episode number 4. My camera sucks. Dan's camera looks beautiful, but sucks with aspect ratio. We just spent about an hour trying to get our stuff working, and it is still not complete. So yeah, how have you been, man?
I've been living on a technological dream right now. Not been good.
Yeah, it's been a while, so we haven't been on for 3 weeks now, I think. We had our technological issue about 3 weeks ago. We were set for episode number 4, and we recorded the entire thing, and then we had audio feedback, so the entire 45-minute, 50-minute conversation ended up being completely wasted. It was stinks because it was actual good conversation. So that happened, and then I ended up having to go out of town for work for a week and a half. So I was living the hotel life. So unfortunately, we were not able to do the podcast, obviously, for that. And now here we are. Took 3 weeks, but got back.
You don't have a portable computer set up with with a monitor and webcam setup?
My IT guy sucks and has yet to give me a portable computer. But
yeah, that one was a little bit of a heartbreaker. Like, we get through the whole thing, we're like, all right, we nailed it. Listen to it, and it's just
shit.
Yep.
And
we both shit. We're hearing some problems, and we're like, oh, it's nothing, not a big deal. And then we listen to the video, and we're like, oh my god,
just a waste of time.
Why didn't we stop it once we heard something wrong, and
this entire process though is learning, and me and Dan always go through this. This is a passion for both of us, so every single time we screw up, we learn something and move on. And that's the cool thing about gaming, IT, YouTube, all that. You're always progressing and learning. So even though it sucked, we didn't want to go through and try to recreate it because we actually had really good conversation. But now we know to do better audio checks and not get complacent.
Like we were doing in the beginning, where we're doing all right, audio check. We'd stop the recording, listen to the file, and all right, sounds good. And then on that one we're like, all right, we got this.
Got cocky.
Yep.
So yeah, during my like I said, I had to stay at a hotel, which is good and bad. Bad, couldn't play PC, couldn't record, but the good is I actually ended up going back and I brought my Switch the entire time. I'm glad I took it. I was debating on taking it or not, but I ended up taking it, and I ended up beating Fire Emblem Three Houses finally. So my original playthrough, I had 44 hours on it, but I ended up taking a break about a year ago on it. Phenomenal game for those of you who have not played it before. It's a tactical RPG, and what that means is you actually are moving your entire party block by block. You only have a certain amount of move spaces. It's RNG when you're fighting. So it's very slow, very methodical, very strategic. But I had to take a break after about 44 hours of grinding that game. Took a year off of it, just kind of forgot about it. And being in the hotel gave me the reason to beat it, so I ended up beating it. My first playthrough was 50 hours, and then as soon as I finished it, they're like, hey, do you want to play New Game Plus? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to play New Game Plus. So I ended up, I think I'm 18 or 20 hours in on my New Game Plus. But the cool thing is, the first time I played it on normal, and then I forgot what the mode's called. It's just, I think it's called casual. So you pick your difficulty, and then you pick normal or casual or classic mode. So the first one I did normal, and then casual, which makes me sound bad, but essentially if your characters die, they're just knocked out, like in Pokemon. So I beat the game that way, and now I'm playing on hard and then classic mode. And the cool thing about this is if your characters die, they're dead. You never get them back. Which actually I didn't think it would be that game changing for how I played, because you could just save scum or whatever, but it actually really focuses or makes me focus on strategically placing my characters, making sure they're healed, making sure my tanks are on the front line, making sure my archers are on the back.
For sure.
Same with mages, whatever. And you actually have to focus on defensive bonuses and negatives and this and that, and like, oh, there's a mage over there, I'm gonna have my archer attack them versus just running in with my tank like I normally do, because it actually truly matters in hard. If you send a plate
Right.
wearer versus a mage or whatever, you will just get absolutely destroyed. So that's been super fun. It's kind of a silver lining of having to be gone for a week. Forced me to play other games that I haven't been thinking about. So, which is great. Super stoked to have that time. But Pokemon came out, correct?
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl came out. Yep.
You've been playing that, or?
Yeah, I'm going through a slow playthrough. So I'm about 20 hours in at the 6th badge. Our good friend Casey is at the 8th badge, but he was going a little bit more focused and getting through the story than I was. There's this underground mechanic, and so you can you dig down, and it kind of opens up this whole other world, and there's like rooms to explore, and you can do mining and get items and stuff like that. And so I was spending a lot of my time down there. That area is like online connected, so you can like either party up with other people or just joins you to random people, and there's some bonuses to that. So I spent a lot of time doing that, and just kind of just enjoying my playthrough. Both Casey and I are not like power Pokemon grinders where we're like, oh, I want to get to endgame, I want to get to endgame. No, we enjoy the ride up there. We enjoy like training different Pokemon and using them, and like enjoying that experience versus one of our buddies just levels up his starter to level 100 and then just rolls through the entire campaign as fast as he can so he can get to endgame. And so that's not really how Casey and I like to play.
Experience that.
Yeah, we just like to enjoy the game. We play it as like at a casual pace, but like just with like nostalgia and love for each of the portions of the game. We like catching new Pokemon along the way versus the other way is like you just go through it, and then once you get to end game, then you go back and catch all the Pokemon. And I just don't really enjoy that portion of it, because then you're just like, you beat it and then you fly back to this city and you're like, okay, there's a 5% catch chance here, versus just like going through and every new one that you experience you try and catch, and then train up and evolve. And so it's a lot of fun. As far as Pokemon remakes go, it's pretty simplistic. Normally when Pokemon remakes one of their older versions, they add all the bells and whistles. They add everything that's like currently been like done. So a great example is like Leaf Green and Fire Red for the Game Boy Advanced. They added everything that a Game Boy Advanced Pokemon game had to the Game Boy Color Red and Blue games. And they also did that when like the DS came out, and the 3DS, like Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby are, everything's cranked up. They have mega evolution. It's a remake of the 3rd gen game. They have mega evolutions. They have this massive post-game campaign and all this extra stuff with just massive amounts that they took every attention to detail to like increase. And it's one of the most beloved Pokemon games there is. And this game wasn't really anywhere near that level.
Was it worth $60 or no?
I think so.
Probably for people or people who only have the Switch, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you don't have what was that game, or those games really originally
like
released?
3DS the 3DS Advanced and then Game Boy Color.
Okay.
So
if you don't have those platforms, then it's probably worth at least a single playthrough.
And just like the upgraded graphics, and they did implement some new things and some nice things like quality of life improvements.
Right.
But the quality of life improvements don't really justify it as like an upgraded version or like a definitive edition type game.
Right.
But it is fun. But people have to understand that this wasn't made by Game Freak. This was made by a third-party studio. So this is the first time that Nintendo has given a whole game to a third-party studio to do a full game. So while Game Freak works on Legend of Arceus, which comes out in like January or February, which is like a completely new Pokemon experience. They're trying to be more of like Zelda Breath of the Wild, but it's not going to be close to that level of game.
Just for a more open world scene.
A little bit more open world. It's going to be more hub based than like open world.
Okay.
Which, I mean, most Pokemon games are kind of like that anyways, so it's not a big deal for me. Some people are like, oh my god, like hub based, and I'm just like, whatever. Like,
if hub based is done right, it actually
correct. Yeah, not bad.
I enjoy it more than open world because, I mean, we've talked about this in the past. Some open world games, you get so caught up in everything there is to do that you end up not doing the story, and then you burn yourself out, and then you never even beat the freaking game.
No, so. 100%. And that happens with me a lot. So I do prefer hub-based games. So that I'm excited for. But it's going to be way more RPG-like, where there's going to be more like tactics. They're implementing a single strike and rapid strike based mechanic to your moves. And so that's all going to be kind of on like a cooldown timer. So if you pick the rapid strike ones, you'll be able to, it comes up more often. You attack faster versus a single strike will be more powerful, but you're going to have to wait for a longer cooldown while you're actively controlling your Pokemon and trying to dodge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not just turn-based?
Nope. Yeah. So
interesting.
They're kind of, I think with the cooldowns, it's still going to be slower, realistically turn-based, but like it's going to try and fool you. Like, I don't know if you followed I didn't play it, but the Final Fantasy VII remake for the PlayStation 4 they remade the turn-based game, but they made it like you have to dodge and move around and fight this boss. But the way they implement moves and cooldowns is like your auto attacks basically do nothing.
Right.
So you're waiting for your cooldowns, and so you're choosing that. And so it's basically turn-based, but in a more engaging, like, kind of scenery. They take all the foundations of your turn-based and they just add some bells and whistles and really immerse you and get you into that environment more. So that's what this new one's trying to do. So I'm pretty excited.
Not to interrupt you, that's how Xenoblade Chronicles is. Essentially, you auto attack, but then you can position your character to be behind for backstabs or on the side for certain attacks, and it's actually really engaging, even though it's technically turn-based with you just hitting a button, but it makes it fun because you're moving your character around. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and I actually enjoyed that. Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition, super good game. I didn't beat it, but I had a lot of fun playing it. Just kind of got burned out because of typical JRPG where, like, I went in almost I got bored of it, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna watch the cutscenes, and I think there's like 30 hours of cutscenes alone on YouTube. I'm like, no, I'm done here. So anyways, so.
But I do wish, so what you were saying with the classic mode on Fire Emblem, I wish Pokemon had something like that, because there's a whole community of like the Nuzlocks that's what it is and what they do. And I've only played one of those, but man, is it like really draw you into every single moment. Yeah, exactly.
Like, and you get attached to the characters.
Yeah.
So then if they're on the verge of dying, you're like, you really think about what you're doing. Every single move matters.
Yep.
You
got to have that person to like switch in and tank that damage, because you're not just gonna let your beloved attacker go down.
Right.
So
especially when you like all of them. You got 7 or 8 characters on Fire Emblem, and you enjoy all their backstories, because Fire Emblem, you're a teacher at a school, instructing them on combat essentially, and you got the major houses, 3 houses that are going to go off and actually lead an area, whether they're a queen or whatever they're going to be. So you're training them in war fundamentals, and then you got all these students, so they have personalities, you know who they are. Besides just fighting, you're actually in the school learning about them as a person, so obviously draws you in more to the story and to their backstory. So when you go into combat, if one of your students is about to go down, you take it personally, and you're like, oh shit, like I just got him killed or her killed, and it makes the game a lot more fun. It was fun to begin with. So if they got them Pokemon, that'd be pretty sick.
I don't know why they don't. I know they want to keep it open to the casual audience, and they make the Pokemon games for kids. I get that. Even though I'm sure 90% of their audience, or the majority of their audience, is older people.
So the games came out when we were young, so
Yeah,
it
right. So
followed us into our
all these
adulthood.
people are like following it up, and no, I know they're making them for the next generation to like get them hooked on it. But why not appease that older audience? Why not have a new game plus playthrough? You know, all right, okay, beat the campaign the classic way of Pokemon, but then afterwards you can choose to restart over and do a hard mode that like
Right.
doesn't have, you know, you can't online battle or you can't online trade, but just a strictly single player hard mode experience would be like just a ton of fun.
Oh yeah.
So
It gives you a reason to replay the game.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I just feel like they have a bunch of their stuff just wasted right now. And just being, you know, if there's a whole community of people doing Nuzlocks, downloading ROMs and hacking ROMs to do these Nuzlocks, why doesn't the developers give those tools in game for that community?
You'd probably sell a lot more copies because I haven't played Pokemon in years. But if you told me there was stuff like that,
Yeah.
and, you know, I like Fire Emblem Three Houses or, you know, any other tactical RPG. I played a lot of them. You know, whether it's Divinity Original Sins 2 or Wasteland 3, games like that really draw me in. You know, and obviously Pokemon's a little different. It's not like you're 7-on-7 and moving across an entire battlefield, but if it had similar mechanics of, you know, permadeath or whatever, it'd be...
Or like double battles for trainer battles. Like a lot of other games that have followed the Pokemon mold have done double battles because it is more strategic. It opens up a lot more moves, and a lot of like the professionals, championships and tournaments are double battles, and so
there's a professional scene in Pokemon.
You didn't know that, dude? Yeah,
Dude,
like it's huge.
Really?
Yeah,
like you're talking the games or cards?
Both.
Interesting. So there's like an end game where you can actually...
Oh, like there's a deep end game. It's
Interesting.
insane, but
See, I
like
didn't know
they don't. So you have to. Somebody told us this when I was in college, and it just like glass shattered, opened my eyes. But there are EVs and IVs to every Pokemon, so they are all like born with IVs, individual values. So each one of their attack or each one of their stats, attack, defense, special attack, HP, speed, have a base plus value. So each Pokemon has a base stat, and then they are born with from 1 to 6 an extra one of these values. And so if you end game, you try and train and breed Pokemon with 6 max IVs.
So
to like
there's
get these extra stats.
So it's
so
a
then
rabbit hole of
yes,
min-maxing, essentially.
oh yeah, there's a huge min-maxing, and then there's natures, and so each Pokemon has a nature. So it'll decrease one stat and increase another stat, and so you have to figure out on that Pokemon like what's the best nature that you're going to try and go for, while you're trying to get the 6 max IVs, and then on top of that, there's EVs, environmental values. You get very slight. I know. Very slight increases of stats for killing
it's a
certain
fucking kids game. It's a kids game, and then yeah, that's hilarious.
But they never tell you that in game, and so like the professional scene, like you just have to like get into it and figure it out yourself. Yeah. And now some games people didn't like Sword and Shield because they thought like the campaign or story was like too quick, but they really tried to in that game tried to get everybody to end game faster. They tried to make some of these mechanics a lot easier to do. So that more people are open to the competitive scene.
That's kind of cool, dude. I had no idea, honestly.
Yeah. Neither do we until college.
That's crazy.
So 10 years ago, and even then, like I don't dabble with it a ton, but I do. I do a little bit of the end game stuff and training up trying to get the 6 IVs, and then going and doing like a battle tower type thing. But
that's wild, dude.
Yeah, it gets real strategic, and then there's. They've come out with abilities and special moves have abilities that like determine different things, and so there's setups and tanks and all this crazy stuff. So it's really watching the competitive scene's really, really interesting. And watching, I've watched a lot of like YouTube where people just break down different fights, And oh my gosh, I could watch it for hours. It's so interesting. Like,
Dude, we're
okay,
talking.
he's gonna switch into. I bet you he's gonna switch into this. So I'm gonna switch into this Pokemon to have an advantage. And boom, he calls it,
Mm-hmm.
knocks the Pokemon out immediately, and you're just like, damn, like
You've played
that's
a lot
some
of
next
hours
level
of Pokemon.
knowledge. Yeah,
That's crazy.
exactly.
Dude, this is some nerdy conversation right now.
True
This is
nerds,
awesome.
baby.
We're just talking about min-maxing Pokemon. I like it. So yeah, my last couple of weeks has been crazy, dude. Like, all right, originally last time we were talking, I was playing Tales of Arise in New World.
Yep.
And then we had to take a break. I had to take a break for work. Then I started playing
work traveling.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I'm on that. And then so we didn't quit New World. We just kind of took a break. Pokemon was coming out for Dan. I wanted to just kind of focus on Tales of Arise while he prepped for Pokemon. And then, so we just kind of stopped playing New World. And then I leave, and then they stealth dropped Halo. So that was fucking wild. Which sucked because I was away for work and
didn't have an Xbox. Didn't have nothing.
I had my Switch, but I was telling Dan here, it was kind of cool because you got to see everyone's initial hype about it, but I didn't watch any videos on it. So I knew everyone's like, fucking Halo's back, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. But I refused to watch videos.
And you didn't play any of the tech demos,
nope,
correct?
I didn't because I got invited to every single flight, but I only play from 10 o'clock at night until whatever.
The flights were weird.
They were like 5 to 9 p.m., which was
never seen that before.
I have a wife and 2 kids. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, sorry, honey, I gotta you can watch the kids while I go play Halo. I'm not going to do
demo.
that. And that in general is kind of like how us as gamers and our friends as gamers work. We got life priorities over gaming, which I feel there's a huge community like that out there, but it just kind of makes us different than a lot of the people who just sit there and grind and like, oh, get put this many hours in, you'll be good at the game. So we're not casual, but we have priorities first, or other priorities before video games. But anyway, so I finally get back, and it went from New World to also now I'm playing Nintendo Switch with Halo Infinite, and Halo Infinite's amazing. So I go from mouse and keyboard, and Dan went from mouse and keyboard to plug in a controller in and feeling like we were playing Halo 2 back in middle school and high school. And the minute I got into my first match, it was just like riding a bike, man. Got the sticks under my fingers and just started having a blast. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. It's Halo roots with a little bit of extra jazz in there to make it a higher skill ceiling. Very enjoyable. The slight movement changes make it a faster paced game, but it's not overbearing like Halo 5 for some people. Just having
really
a blast.
felt like 343 just took what they learned and really poured it into this game.
Yes.
Right? Like they failed twice, or partially succeeded and then partially failed on each game, and so they're okay. I think we're starting to get it, and they poured a lot of time into the Halo 5 multiplayer, and it just like rubbed people the wrong way, certain people the wrong way, other people loved it. I thought it was good, but it really didn't feel that much like Halo, or didn't even look that much like Halo, right? Like they dumbed down the graphics to hit that 60 FPS target, which Bungie has never been able to do, or only has been able to do in Destiny on the next gen consoles and PC. So hats off to the 343 Industries for that milestone, but it wasn't enough to kind of save that gameplay, and the movement increases made it not quite feel like Halo, but this, man,
it just feels
Halo
good.
Infinite just feels like classic Halo with just enough advances to to modernize it, to make it feel really good in the current state.
Well, we were playing the first night together. I think it was was it Monday? I think it was Monday.
Yeah, when you got back.
Yeah, and I had a controller in my hand, and it just felt good. I was like, dude, This feels so good. Like I was having nostalgia trips, and I wasn't even playing Halo 2 because Halo 2 was my game. Um, and I just felt, with the hit scan, it felt like Halo. And I was playing with friends and trying to relearn controller. I was getting shit on a couple games, but at the end of the day, I was like, dude, I'm still having fun because it feels like Halo. You can get shit on all game and have one, Warthog funny event or Ghost funny event, whatever it is,
double or triple kill.
yeah, and it makes the entire gameplay fun still. It was just amazing because I've had that itch for, like, not even exaggerating, since high school, for a game like this that just
For sure.
brings me back, it just sinks me in. Like, I've been addicted to games and this and that, but it just felt right. And we were also talking this weekend. We got me, you, Zach, Buzzy, Enslin, Casey, Austin,
Mark, Spencer,
Austin, Austin's friends. I mean, we had so many people on. We had to split up our parties to be able to play together, which is crazy. Like, if you think about a game, when's the last time that shit happened to us? It hasn't
Not
for at least me.
Destiny 1, when they implemented trials, and we had like 4 or 5 people on at a time, and you only could use 3.
Right.
So we're like, sorry.
Yeah, we'll split up and just go do some pubs or
but like even that, like what multiplayer game is only 3 players, right? So normally if you had 5, you'd have been perfectly fine with everything.
Yeah, it was just cool, and bringing the communities together, meeting other people, playing with. I haven't played with Enslin. I couldn't even tell you the last time I played with him. Probably, realistically, high school. Yep. I don't think I played a single game with him.
And that was the person I went down to Texas and built the computer for. Yep. But I mean, man, did we time that out perfectly without even knowing?
That's crazy.
I was talking to him earlier, and I was like, I don't like. Realistically, if I was thinking like, let's maximize the budget here, I would have like, all right, let's wait for Black Friday sales, or get the graphics card, wait for Black Friday sales, then I'll go down and build it. And then, originally it wasn't supposed to launch till December, so I was like, oh, perfect timing. But yeah, we would have been screwed because it, would have came out, and he had been like, oh fuck,
that's so mad.
That would have sucked really bad. So. That worked out like literally perfect timing. He's able to jump on and play and just really enjoy the game.
There's obviously
he's been grinding.
Yeah, I think we all have. It was cool just jumping in and acting like we didn't miss a beat. So I haven't played with him for 12 years, whatever.
Yeah,
and we didn't miss a beat. Jumped into the competitive and started dumping on kids. It was great. Everything feels good. There's a few issues in the game. Melee registration is one of them. The spawns can be
not only does melee lunge range feel pretty awful compared to like what you remember or what you're used to, but it also like lunging through people, not registering.
That's the biggest issue. Like I literally went to assassinate someone, or backslap them now, it's called. And I went through him, and he literally hit me in the back and backslapped me. I was like,
or I like jumped and was like just over them and went to like melee, and it just like punched air while he's sitting right in front of me, like a foot from me.
And then one hits you or some stupid shit.
Yeah, and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. And then like every, you whiff, and in this, longer TTK kind of game, like you're out.
Yeah.
For the most part, right?
Especially as a team shot game too, so you miss one big play, or go in, 100%, committed to a melee, and he's still shooting you while you.
They specifically, strategically, made if it were to work correctly, made the melee animation last for so many seconds, right? To make it a kind of risk. All right, I'm gonna make sure I kill this person, but then, like, I'm kind of like locked into finishing that person off. I can't just melee and start shooting another person right away. And when that doesn't work, then you're kind of just stuck
sitting
there
and getting shot at.
Yeah. Before it just feels like almost an eternity before you can like fire your weapon again or get back in the fight because you just whiffed that melee.
Right.
Kind of same with grenades too. Like they do a lot of damage, but if you're in a 1-on-1 and you start throwing grenades and either it doesn't hit perfectly or like even if it would have and you get the kill from the grave, like they will outkill you because that animation took so long.
Yep.
It's not like some of the Destiny ones are really quick animations, melees, right?
Or even picking up weapons. I actually do like how they implement this. When you pick up weapons now, there's about a 1 to 2 second delay. So say you go
depending on the weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
Say you go pick up rockets, it waits for it to spin and put a round in before you can pull the trigger on somebody. So you can't just sprint to rockets anymore or sprint to sword. Even like if you miss a sword lunge, there's a second delay where you can hit again.
Yeah, pretty good chance you're gonna die before you can get that second sword lunge off, unless you use a dash or are able to juke them out of a shot or two, and then you can get another shot. But I do really like that. It just sucks when the melee registration is not working,
it's
and
not your fault.
You tactically figure out, all right, I'm going to do this because this is how I'm going to win this fight, and then it misses, and you're like, well,
I'm dead.
I calculated it, but
right.
Yeah,
that's my only gripe right now.
That and then the battle pass progression, which they've
I'm talking in game.
Oh, okay.
In game, that's my only gripe. But then yes, let's talk battle pass then, because I mean I don't really have anything else. There was some aim assist issues, but everyone if people weren't hitting start on their controller, they would act like they were mouse and keyboard and they would get no aim assist. But that's across YouTube everywhere. Everyone knows to fix that. So in game, my only gripe right now, hit or melee registration. A perfect segue to the battle pass. Dan's favorite thing.
Probably the worst battle pass I've ever experienced.
Legitly.
And I came from playing Fortnite, Warzone, Destiny 2, Apex, played a bunch of battle passes, and a lot of them weren't that great. Apex's battle pass progression was fine, but there was just nothing worthwhile in their battle pass to grind out 100 levels for. So it's like, okay, not going to do that. Destiny, their battle passes have been really long a lot of times, and the ones that are shorter felt a lot better. But when it takes you the whole season of playing every day, that's too long.
Yeah, too grindy.
But at least while you were progressing it and getting XP towards it, it did feel like you were progressing,
right?
Even though it was a very long battle pass. Warzone, I think I've only ever really completed one. So
the problem with Warzone, and I hope this doesn't happen to Halo, there's so much shit, no one knows how you got it. You're literally running around in these crazy ass costumes. That's my personal gripe. Some people may like that, but I wanna look at someone and be like, dude busted his ass to get that stuff. Warzone just has too much, in my opinion. The battle.
Yeah, I think the part that you can just direct buy a lot of that stuff just kind of defeats a lot of that big purpose, right? Where I would rather have the battle pass cost more money, but that be the only terms of monetization that you can get, right? And you're like, all right, I know that they grinded it out or they did these challenges to unlock this specific piece, and you're like, damn, right? That's a sick shader, that's a sick armor piece. Their dude looks awesome. They really put some time into unlocking all these things and then customizing it.
It's a fine line because these free to play games, they need to be monetized. I'm
really glad Halo Infinite's free to play.
Yeah,
because
they need to be monetized.
We just said, we had the 12 people of our friends come on and play. That wouldn't happen if it was a $60 multiplayer experience, right? We would have had maybe half that.
Yeah.
Or people would have waited, till later. So the fact that it's easily accessible and free to play, and that none of those changes affect how you play, or how it affects in game, just all cosmetic stuff.
Yeah,
love it. Some of the prices are a lot, but Fortnite's were a lot too, and so it's just well, if it's too much for you, don't buy it.
Exactly. The games need to be monetized. The developers need to make money so their game can, their publisher can see they're making money, but the way they monetize it they need to be very careful, and it's a fine line because, dude, the internet will rip you apart if you're feeling cheated or it's
I mean,
like
Battlefront 2 is a prime example. Great game. The game was incredible, but it came out that it was pay to win, and it just died flat on its face.
Right.
EA ended up losing the Star Wars license,
which is
and it
great.
took them 2 or 3 years for them to get that game back into a good spot. It's good that EA lost the exclusive license, so because we can get more Star Wars games out, which I love. But man, did that flop for them. But the game was solid. There wasn't. It launched with minimal glitches. It didn't launch partially completed for the most part. It had a campaign and a great multiplayer. Gameplay was incredible. The only bad part was the
pay to win.
Yep.
So Halo Infinite is not pay to win. There is no weapons you can buy. It is all cosmetics, which is great. But the problem lies is their battle pass progression. The only way to progress levels in the battle pass or earn XP
completing challenges
is to complete challenges. And it used to be even worse than it is now. Now you get 50 XP per game. Previously they didn't have that, and you just had to complete challenges, which were bullshit challenges, to be completely honest with you. They force you to play a certain way. So say Dan has a really good game. You know,
great game. I go off. 20 kills.
20, 30 kills, 3 deaths, whatever. But I go -15, but I got 2 double kills, and that was one of my challenges. I got more XP than him right there. And I unlocked, or I progressed in the battle pass. So you get no reward for playing well in the current battle pass. You literally have to grind.
Yeah,
you got to do weekly challenges and just play games.
Arbitrary challenges. Yeah. And now, this past weekend with the free event that offered up more free challenges and a free battle pass for the specific event, just doing some of the challenges and changing the way you play was kind of fun. I can see where the completionists or the challenge hunters would enjoy that portion, and it can change up or force you to change the way you play, which can make it more enjoyable. I mean, Destiny tries to do that a lot and doesn't usually turn out very well, where they're oh, this season you need to get grenade launcher kills, 12,000 of them, and you're like, fuck, but there was, one of the seasons the sniper was the end game reward, and it was a goddamn good sniper, and I refused to snipe because I sucked in Halo 2 at sniping and Halo 3, and I was like, well, I'm going to get this sniper, so I forced myself to snipe for an entire season and got decent at it. And you're like, oh yeah, this is a viable way to play the game. I can play this now. So forcing you to do that can bring enjoyment, but it's not always the best way, and you still there should be that path of just play what you want to play.
They should have both.
And you can progress.
Is what they should do. They should have both. You should get XP to your battle pass, but get bonus XP for getting 20 kills or 20 assists in Fiesta.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because right now, now I'm on 5, which sounds really easy. 5 killing sprees in Fiesta. Fiesta is a madhouse. You have rocket launchers, swords, gravity hammers. So last night I was playing with Austin and his buddy, and I got 4 really easily. My 5th one, we literally played for an hour and a half. I couldn't fucking get it. I would get 4 kills and die, and me personally, I could have just sat in a corner with a sword and got it, but I'm not going to do that because I want to have fun. That's not fun for me, so I was just playing.
Yep.
So that shit pissed me off, and I still actually, after we get off this, I'm going to get on and complete that stupid challenge because it's the last thing for the week. That's what I need. But the battle pass is shit. It's absolute shit. 343 says they listen. They're taking a break from the holidays, which I respect. I'm very happy they're doing that, but they should have pushed harder to, because there's rumors out there. One of the developers made a comment hey, we're listening to your feedback. Hopefully your guys' feedback, now that it mirrors what we and a few other developers stated, the publisher will listen now. So essentially it sounds like
corporate Microsoft.
Yeah. Yep.
Nope, this is the way we're going to do it.
Yeah.
This is going to drive more money.
Until the fans freak out. which is weird. I mean, it's Microsoft, but normally I have no issue with Microsoft. But
They've had their, back in the early Xbox 360 days when they were kicking PlayStation's ass, they did some pretty money hungry
shady
things,
shit.
and they were, kind of anti, like not player, but just like open like they are now, where they got beat so hard by the PlayStation 4 that Phil Spencer had to take the lead, and he goes, okay, the only way we're going to come back is with goodwill to the players.
Right.
A, rewarding the players that have stuck with us, and then B, making it really convenient, easy, fun, affordable for other players to switch over from PlayStation.
Which they did.
To come play. And I think Phil Spencer's done an amazing job, but Halo is your staple. Halo gets people on your platform. Halo won original Xbox and Xbox 360 over PlayStation for many, many people. Like, they're just like, PlayStation sucks. I ain't got Halo.
Exactly, dude, and that's so true, because back in the day, you would literally, like, for instance, here's a quick story. My OG Xbox disk drive broke. That night, I fucking whined to my mom until she went and got me an Xbox 360 for my early Christmas present, because I couldn't play Halo. And it was like, what am I going to do with my life? And that's how it used to be. That's how important. Like, I had no thought in my mind of buying a PlayStation because I was so into Halo. That was their console seller.
Yep. PlayStation had great games back then. Some of the Ratchet and Clank games, Jak and Daxter, God of War, all these, like, blockbuster hits. There's some other ones. Those are my personal favorites. But they had great single-player experiences. Didn't matter. They ain't got Halo.
Nope.
That's what I kept saying. I was just like, hey, they ain't got Halo. That's all I care about. And Xbox Live, pioneered it. It kicked off. It was great. And so my thought is Halo is going to get people on your platform. Don't monetize it.
Right.
Don't be greedy. Or you can monetize it, but just don't be greedy with it. It should just be... It needs to be the goodwill towards players to get people thinking about Xbox as the juggernaut that it is, or can be again, and get people onto the Xbox platform for Halo Infinite. Get people playing it on PC and not worrying so much about, the next PlayStation game that's coming out or whatever else.
So right now it's not super scummy. Their battle pass is, again, the worst I've seen. The monetization.
It's not, and the customization's cool. Different things you unlock through it, and when you unlock the challenges, you progress through it pretty quick.
Right.
When you focus on that.
Yeah, put your double XP on unlock shit, but
what feels bad though is when you pop a double XP
and you don't unlock
any challenges, and you get literally zero, zero. You're just like. What?
You get the game completion 50 XP.
I probably put on 2 or 3 double XP things before realizing that you don't get any extra bonus XP based on how you did.
Right.
And other games kind of do it better, whereas you could have the same length of grind, but they disguise it through obscurity. If they make it, each battle, rank 10,000 XP. But you get your bonuses for doing well, but the only really way to progress very quickly is to do the challenges. At least you feel like you're progressing by playing well.
Yep.
Right?
Halo 3 had the best battle pass. Or not battle pass, but their best ranking system for not their actual rank, but your overall rank. You get done with the game
Go ahead. Finish
I was just going to say, I know you got issues with it, but Halo 3, you'd get done with the game and they're like, all right, match completion bonus, your performance bonus, and then they have the slot machine shit where you just get a random amount of XP. So every single game you got rewarded for playing, how well you played, whatever, and then random amount of XP. So every single game you felt accomplishment. So what are you going to say about your shitty time with Halo 3?
Until it comes back to bite you in the butt because you played so many normal games that it literally took you couldn't rank up in ranked gameplay.
Oh yeah, because that's true. So your custom games,
your custom and your normal games counted towards your overall ranking.
Yep, that's right.
And so if the more games you played in normal, the slower you ranked up in ranked, which made no sense. Right. I was forever stuck at level 24 was the highest I ever got, and I'm playing with people who are 48s and 49s.
That's hilarious.
And doing well. And the classic story is me and Enslin played all night. He got a new account. I think he started at 16 or 20 below me. We played all night. Partied. We met some Australians at like 2 or 3 a.m. They played with us. We played till 5, 6 in the morning. He went from below me or like level 20 or like level 16 or something like that. Or maybe it was level 30. I can't remember. Went all the way up to like 40 or 45. And I went from 22 to 23. And then one of the last games we played, we lost. And I went back to 22. And he didn't even go down. And I'm like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, see, I would have just made a new account, a little 7-day free trial. But no, I forgot about that. But you get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm like. Your overall rank, it shouldn't have been tied to rank. That's bullshit.
No, the regular like normal play and custom gameplay was great. We were all loving it. I didn't even realize until we actually like a year or 2 years later that when I was actually trying to play ranked that I fucked myself.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, you need some of that like match bonus, random like XP based on time played, or all these other like little bonuses that add up. Like game performance could be a bonus segment. Time match, like how long the match went, could be another bonus, and it all kind of adds up. So the player who just didn't do very well and still played still gets that match time bonus, same as everybody else. But people who performed better get that extra bit on top.
Yeah, because sometimes you just have a bad game, so you're still getting rewarded for.
But with each battle pass tier being like 1,000 XP and you only getting 50 XP guaranteed per match,
it's ridiculous.
20 matches per battle tier,
and it's 100 ranks per battle pass, which is
I know this is a long season, but
it's 160 days.
Yeah, but they extended it out for this specific season because we're in like a
pre-beta phase. Overall, though, man, the battle pass sucks. The gameplay is Halo roots. Feels great.
If the gameplay wasn't as good, this game would have already died.
Oh, 100%. And that's what
Pass would have shut this thing down. Yeah, but nobody cares, or not. They don't care as much because
they're having fun.
Gameplay is great and it is fun to play.
Yeah.
The maps feel really good too for a new game having this many good maps.
Yeah. I agree.
And they haven't even released them all yet. It's just like a little taste. And everyone I've played was like, yeah, I like this one for the most part. There's like a few that I'm like, but like I don't remember ever liking that many maps, especially for a sequel game.
Right. Yeah, I actually haven't found a map I don't like. Like I have a map that is not as fun for me, but I don't dislike it.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited. It's my game. I'm sticking to it. I'm addicted. I have a problem.
And they did such a good job of balancing vehicles into multiplayer. No other game's done this good.
With Devastator.
Not even Battlefield. Yeah, you can just energy weapons, like do more damage. The Devastator just disables them. There's grenades that disable them, by getting close. Obviously, sticky grenades kill them. But they also made some of the weapons on the vehicles more lethal, like the machine gun on the back of the Warthog. It doesn't have
shreds fast. It shreds fast
and it's accurate too. So like you can map people. Yeah. So like it kind of evens itself out.
It's a risk versus reward thing. Yeah. I mean, you got things that can kill you if you jump in the Warthog. You can kill people really quick.
The grapple hook, you can grapple jack everything. Grapple hook. Oh my god, it feels so good.
Yeah.
I just want a game mode where everybody at least starts off with a charge or two of the grapple hook.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, because the only thing that sucks is just not having it until you like pick it up, and that's one of the things I love about Fiestas. When you spawn and you got the grapple hook, baby, you could do some crazy shit.
Automatic melee when you grapple. Someone.
And you can grapple and then come halfway and pull out your weapon and start shooting them, so you can fake that melee, so they can, go to melee you and whiff.
Right. Yeah.
There's so many crazy things. The way you can swing around things, and
you can grapple all the way up and get into a Banshee. I don't know if you've seen people do that. You can literally grapple up a mountain, wait, and then grapple up higher, and then swing up into the Banshee, grapple to the Banshee, or the Wasp, I think it's called.
Wow.
It's crazy. But,
I love it.
So, but yeah, man, we're going on 15 minutes here, so I think we should cut her out here, unless you got anything to add.
Nope. We're always like, all right, quick one.
Yeah, quick
15
one.
minutes later.
Yeah, talk 20
I mean, but this is the why we want to do the podcast is because our conversations normally go like this. We're like,
Right. Our drive home, we used to drive about 45 minutes apiece.
You'd be sitting in the parking lot and you'd be like, okay, I'm home
all right,
for
dude,
10 minutes.
Just
I really got to hang up.
Yeah, one more thing. Heather's on her way out to yell at me. So, but yeah, that's all I got, man. So it was fun. Glad we got back on. Hopefully this audio's not screwed up. We did audio check it, so it should be good. But yeah, anything else?
That's it, man.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure. Everyone who watched, we appreciate all of you. So take care, and we will see you next week. Hopefully.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.